Nakia from Where's the Buzz. Hi guys, how are you?
Nakia, good. Good morning.
Well, how are you?
Yes, congratulations on the brand new show. I absolutely loved it. I especially loved watching you two dynamic duo working together and watching your relationship kind of go the way that it did. Brian, I'll start with you. What was it like working together? Because I can only imagine that you guys had most of the scenes together and
For
doing
sure.
team partner work.
For sure. You're absolutely right. It was a total joy. I mean, to have a partner on off screen is just it makes my life so much easier. It makes it so much more fun, so much more interesting because everything we got to do on this show truly was a collaboration. And I really appreciated having Brandon as a sparring partner, having him as a means of support, like questioning me and us getting to dig deeper and also just us, having a great time with each other. And I think that that really does come across in the show, and it was a just a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it was really beautiful to watch you two because I felt like I was on an emotional roller coaster with you two because each episode was so different. I'm like, oh, I love these two together. Brandon,
Thank
for
you.
you, what I really loved about the show was the way it was shot, the technology of it all, from the body
Mm.
cams to the phone to the camera work, and actually getting the POV from police officers. So for you, was there anything that shocked you or anything that you learned differently about the work of officers and people in that field?
Of course. Yeah, I mean, we were extremely lucky to do a couple ride-alongs. So we got to witness officers in a different way than probably the majority of the public gets to see them. And that's something that we tried to maybe bring into building these characters was just the humanity aspect of them. And I think that's something that this show does really well is that, we never go home with them. We're with the officers throughout the entirety of their day. And we witness them when they're hangry. We witness them when they're emotional, when something's going wrong in their personal life, but they have to put all that aside to attend to the community. So that's something that we tried. The writers did a really good job at writing these nuanced characters, and all we had to do, honestly, for me, was just show up and trust the world that Elliot and Tim built.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, it does. It was really interesting to watch because it does kind of humanize folks in that field a little bit when you get the POV, especially watching it from the body cam part of it. Also, something that I love, you two are now a part of the Dick Wolf family slash umbrella, which is a pretty cool umbrella, I think, to be a part of. So you both can answer this. Was that intimidating or exciting or both to kind of be a part of that family now?
I mean, everything. I'm
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
all
When
of the above. Yeah.
Yeah, when on our first date, do you remember when they were like, and Dick's on set? And I was like, no.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
but I was like, I can't hide. Like,
Yeah.
this is it really, yeah, it's very, very intimidating. I feel super honored
Mhm.
and excited to be a part of this legacy. Yeah, it just felt like a crazy, awesome opportunity. And I
Mhm.
feel so grateful to be a part of this entire team.
Yeah, yeah. Just to piggyback off what Troian said, I think from day one, I mean, everybody feels the majority of the crew has worked on some type of
Mm,
other show with Dick or their team. So there was already like that familiarity there and some like familial aspect. So just to kind of jump on that moving train, I think everybody else made it a lot easier for us. I'm sure we put the pressure on ourselves,
absolutely.
but they never put that on us. I always felt very welcome from day one.
Yeah. But you guys did a fantabulous job. I love the show. I can't wait for the rest of the world to watch it. It was a really, really good show. So thank you
Thank
guys
you.
Thank you.
again. And I appreciate it. Thank
Thank
you,
you for
everybody.
watching. I
Appreciate you.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Anytime. Hi, Lori. Hi, Eric. How are
Absolutely.
you?
Hi, Nakia.
How you doing?
Hi. Congratulations on the show. I loved this show. I love the roles that you two played, the authoritarian roles, lieutenant, sergeant, not playing any games. Lori, I'll start with you first. I loved everything about her. She was a badass. So what was it about this role that turned you on to it?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? It's a role I've never played before. And I was so thankful that Dick Wolf and the powers that be, and Eriq, who is a cheerleader, bringing me on early to play the role, that they gave me the opportunity. And Eriq was instrumental in helping me develop the character and find my badass, because I tend to be nice and a little more diplomatic. And he was like, listen, you're still a nice person, but you're no nonsense. You're unapologetic. You are strong. And he really pushed me in that direction. And, you know, I would tiptoe in and he'd go, that's right. Go more deeper in the pool. You got it. And then it really dropped in for me. And it was so liberating. And I really am so grateful that I have the opportunity to play Bishop.
Yeah. And it's
yes,
great.
I loved it. Watching it, I was a little shook.
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, the reason I just get such a joy when you describe her as badass, and because it's just what we were going for. And so whenever you see that, and you know, she tiptoed a little bit, but then at some point she just took the plunge. I think after our first day, I think it was like after the park scene, which was early into the shoot, and then just to see an artist just take the plunge, and it feeds you as well, because it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know what I was talking about. My instincts were right, but it also feeds me to follow my instincts more, for me selfishly as well as an actor, to see that. So it's cyclical in the fact that it serves all parties, and so Troian is a badass.
Oh, yeah.
I love the women, how the women are depicted in the story, and there's I think the two male writers did a great job of writing some complex, multi-dimensional women, and you can't dismiss them, and oh, they're this, you have to take all of their colors into account. And I think they wrote some beautiful colors, and I think they play the beautiful colors. And of course, I love what they did with the men as well. But yeah, I just get a personal joy when you when people say you're a badass.
Yeah.
And she, I mean,
it was beautiful to watch. I was watching it like, oh, I'm afraid of Lori. I love this. Because like I said, I love watching you two in these authority roles as lieutenant and sergeant, and watching Lori. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But Eriq, for you, because not only are you the actor in this, you kind of step behind the camera as EP and director. So talk a little bit about that, because I know it's a little bit different, because sometimes a lot of actors don't step behind the camera, but for this one, you got to step behind the camera.
Yeah, it was a joy. I mean, I was first approached. They asked me to direct it, which was, an amazing thing. Of course, I jumped at it, and then along with that came the title of executive producer, and not just the title. The thing I love, because sometimes people, celebrities, they'll get on a show and they give me a title of executive producer, and my thing was, they really trusted me to go out and help put this show together, and that was the title. And along the way, Lori became, for me, a good idea, a good addition to the cast, and Dick was on board with it, and people started, they would, sort of mold on it, and they were like, and to see her, being able to put actors and give artists an opportunity to do things differently. Our DP, our production designer. So it's not just the actors, it's the whole thing. So that's the executive producer part. The directing part is finding the style of the show and how many different cameras that we use, the body cam, the dash cam, the drones, all of that. That's the direct, and of course the performances and the tone and the palette. And then as we were getting into production, we were going to cast my best friend Michael Beach in the role, and there was a conflict in his schedule, and so I just said, I'll do it. I'm already in love with this thing. So, and I just thought it would be a great challenge to do the trifecta, and I was definitely inspired by the work Jason Bateman did for several seasons on Ozark, and how I just thought he did all three of those effortlessly and beautifully. And I'm that person that will try to challenge myself to do things like that. And I've done it on a smaller scale of independent films, a little short films that I've done, but this was big time. And I just thought if I could pull that off in the way that I wanted to, that'd be a huge thing for my career as far as me, what I feel personally that I'm capable of. And I surrounded myself, I was smart, I surrounded myself with people that were going to make me look good.